What's up, Cowboys Nation? Today, we have a massive story unfolding that could absolutely shake up the entire NFC landscape. And yes, it involves none other than Kyle Pitts, the former top 5 draft pick, one of the most athletically gifted tight ends we've seen in a generation. And now, if the rumors are true, potential future Dallas Cowboy. That's right, sources and speculation are flying that Kyle Pitts has declined any movement toward a long-term extension with the Atlanta Falcons, and in a twist that has Cowboys fans absolutely buzz, he's apparently eyeing a future with America's team. Whether this is a quiet back-channel commitment, a strategic move in contract leverage, or the earliest sign of one of the biggest roster shifts in recent memory, one thing is for sure: the possibility of Kyle Pitts suiting up in a Cowboys uniform is real, and the implications are massive. So buckle up, hit that like button, and let's break down what this really means for the Dallas Cowboys, the Falcons, the NFL landscape, and of course, for the career of Kyle Pitts himself. To understand why this story matters, you've got to go back to who Kyle Pitts was supposed to be coming into the NFL. When he was coming out of the University of Florida, he was billed as a unicorn, and I don't use that word lightly. We're talking about a tight end with the catch radius of a wide receiver, the athleticism of a big slot, and the ability to dominate linebackers and safeties with ease. Drafted 4th overall by the Atlanta Falcons in 2021, which, mind you, is incredibly rare for a tight end to go that high, Pitts was expected to become a franchise cornerstone. And to be fair, in his rookie year, he pretty much lived up to the hype. He put up over 1,000 receiving yards, earned Pro Bowl honors, and immediately looked like the mismatch nightmare he was advertised to be. But things didn't exactly continue on that same trajectory. Whether it was quarterback inconsistency, offensive scheme limitations, or injuries, the following seasons didn't quite allow Pitts to reach the level everyone expected. His production dipped, his role seemed to fluctuate, and while the flashes of brilliance remained, they came with less frequency. Still, no one doubts the raw talent that Pitts brings to the table. And now, fast forward to this moment, the Falcons have shown no urgency to lock him up long-term, and reportedly, Pitts himself isn't pushing to stay put either. Instead, he's letting things ride. No extension, no movement, nothing but silence. And sometimes, silence speaks the loudest. That's where the Dallas Cowboys come into the picture. Now, let's be honest, if there's any team that's always in the mix when elite offensive talent becomes available, it's Dallas. Jerry Jones and company have built a brand on star power, and while they haven't always made the splashiest trades or free agent moves in recent years, they've consistently been rumored around big names. But what makes this one different is how perfect the fit could be. Think about it. The Cowboys have a solid tight end room. Sure, Jake Ferguson has developed nicely. Luke Schoonmaker has potential, and Peyton Hendershot has flashed here and there. But none of those guys have the ceiling that Pitts brings. You pair a healthy and motivated Kyle Pitts with CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Tony Pollard, or whoever's in the backfield, and you've got an offense that can create absolute chaos for defenses. The spacing opens up. Dak Prescott gets another big body red zone target, and Kellen Moore, or whoever's calling the shots, on offense now, gets to dial up formations that keep opposing coordinators up at night. Pitts doesn't just run routes. He changes defensive alignments. He's the kind of guy who forces linebackers into coverage they're not built for, who demands a safety over the top, even when he's lined up in line, who gives you the kind of schematic leverage that makes everyone else better. So, if Pitts is really looking beyond Atlanta, and every sign is pointing that way, Dallas becomes one of the most intriguing potential landing spots. Now, you might be asking, how do we know he's interested in the Cowboys? Look, it's not like he's coming out in the media saying, "I want to be in Dallas," but there have been enough subtle signs to make people raise their eyebrows. From social media follows to cryptic posts, From his agent's rumored conversations to the buzz around the league, it feels like the Cowboys are on his radar, and maybe even more than just that. Sometimes, players don't need to say it directly. Their actions, their silence, and the direction their camp is moving in say everything. And when a player declines to push for a deal with his current team, especially when that team spent a top 5 pick on him, it usually means the writing is on the wall. And let's not forget, Dallas has been very active in monitoring the tight end market for years. There were whispers of them pursuing other big-name tight ends in trade talks. Pitts is younger than most, arguably more talented, and would instantly become the most dynamic tight end the Cowboys have had since prime Jason Witten, and that's no exaggeration. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the risk. Because yeah, there's risk here. Pitts hasn't put together multiple elite seasons yet. Injuries have slowed him down, and you'd likely need to give up significant draft capital or cap flexibility to land him. But let me ask you this, how often does a player with his upside, his age, his ceiling become available? It's rare, and for a team like Dallas, which has been knocking on the playoff door and flirting with contention, but hasn't gotten over the hump, sometimes you need to swing big. Sometimes you need to make the move that elevates you from good to great. That's what this could be. And let's not forget the Cowboys are heading into a tricky phase financially. CeeDee Lamb is due for a major extension. Micah Parsons is going to break the bank. Dak Prescott's contract situation is going to demand attention sooner than later. If you're going to build around this core, you've got to make your bold move now, not when the window is closing. Bringing in a weapon like Pitts shows the front office is serious about chasing a title in the next 2 years, not just coasting and hoping things break their way. On the Falcons side of things, you can already see the hesitation. Maybe they feel Pitts hasn't lived up to expectations. Maybe the scheme doesn't fit. Maybe they're focused on other areas like Bijan Robinson, Drake London, or building out their defense. But letting a top talent walk without at least exploring a deal feels like a mistake, unless, of course, they know something we don't. Maybe Pitts has made it clear he wants out. Maybe he's eyeing the Cowboys and there's nothing the Falcons can do to change that. That's why this story has so many layers. It's not just about stats or performance. It's about relationships, future vision, player satisfaction, and the chess game of NFL roster building. So what happens next? Well, here's the most likely scenario. Pitts plays out the season with Atlanta unless he's traded at the deadline. If he has a bounce-back year, the price tag goes up. If he doesn't, Atlanta might look to move on for a second-rounder or a player-plus-pick combination. That's where Dallas can make a move. Jerry's done it before. He's traded first for wide receivers. He's pulled off unexpected draft day deals. Pitts is young enough to still be part of the future, but developed enough to help right now. That's the sweet spot. But the window won't stay open forever. If Dallas is serious, they'll make a call before the end of this season or early in the offseason. If they wait too long, other teams will jump in because, make no mistake, plenty of other GMs see what Pitts could be in the right offense. And let's not underestimate the player's mindset either. Pitts may want to win. He may want a system that uses him like the elite talent he is. He may want the spotlight, the stage, and the platform to show what he can do. Dallas offers all of that. America's team, prime time games, massive media attention, a fan base that embraces stars, and an offense that's built to showcase a dynamic tight end if used properly. For Pitts, this could be the career rebirth he needs. For the Cowboys, this could be the final weapon they've been missing. So here we are, Cowboys fans on the edge of something big. Is it smoke? Is it fire? Is it just hype? Or the beginning of a franchise-changing move? Only time will tell. But if you ask me, I'd keep my eyes locked on this story. Because if Kyle Pitts really is snubbing an extension with Atlanta, and if he really is thinking about Dallas, then this offseason could be one of the most exciting we've seen in years. Let me know in the comments why you think. Should the Cowboys go all in for Pitts? Would you trade a 2N and a player? Or do you think he's not worth the gamble? Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and keep it locked right here for more Cowboys updates as this story develops. Until next time, how about them Cowboys?